Hi, Xavier. Do you want to find out whether or not this Fuji Cherry has actually gripped to the rock that it was put on 2 years ago? Watch on and have a look. Hi, it's Xavier. I'm on the patio, and today I'm going to just have a little explore of my Fuji Cherry and to see whether or not the roots have actually started to grip the rock. This was bought from Xavier Nurseries as a £10 Fuji Cherry tree, like most of them are. Now's good time, very early spring. Flowers haven't yet opened up, so if you're going to do it, you do it now before the flowers open up. Otherwise, it's waiting until after the flowers have done their bit and you've got rid of them. So there it is. So let's go and have a look in the roots and see what we've got. Okay, so how are we going to look? The first good sign, it's got roots coming out underneath. It hasn't gripped. So I'll just try again. Just trying to work out where it was in the rock. There's roots there. And this is a thing also to bear in mind. There's the rock there. So the roots were going under there. What I'm going to do, they're very fibrous roots, so there's no way that'll hold. But what I will do is I'm going to raise that up in the pot so that more of that's exposed. I think that's going to be the answer here. This definitely fibrous roots, so I'm going to be careful with it. But at least now we'll have a little bit of the rock showing. And I think sometimes some of these projects, this is the hardest thing. That's why I think I said last year, I said if you're interested in trying roots on rock, then don't just do one. Pick a whole load. I say a whole load, at least do 3, because you are going to be waiting a few years. And it's nice when I get to this stage, I've got another few that are a few more years further on, so I'm going to see the results on another one. But so I'm going to do with that today. I might do a little pruning actually. Okay, so you can see, we can now see the rocks there, and the rock actually goes to this side. And it was hard for you to see, but there was definitely fibrous roots going under them, but nowhere near strong enough to grip. So I'll feed this heavily. Obviously this has a profuse number of flowers. The thing to remember is the flower isn't where the leaves. So sometimes you get leaves, sometimes you get flowers. With this one, I'm actually hoping to come out from here. I think I set it up so it would be like that. So the front was going to be, it's going to be there. So you're going to see the rock across there. There's this nice big root. So that was going to be a back branch. We just really need to clean up some of this growth. And some of these are going to be removed once the flowers have bloomed and gone. But I don't want to take off too many flower buds because I want to see it bloom. So that's how I progress a root on rock. That's now going to be allowed to go wild again, the bottom of the garden, left alone probably, and we'll be able to look at it again next year, this time. There's 3, 4, 5 more here. I've also got 2 larches which I've put on rocks. They're not so secure, but I'm going to investigate them. What I'm going to do is exactly the same process you've seen me do with the other ones. If I see anything unusual or something that's remarkable, I'll do a little bit of clip footage for it. Otherwise, it should all be the same as what you've seen before, but you'll see the finished product of these anyway. So I'll come back to you if it's worth seeing. Cheers. So sure enough, I came across an example of the Trident. That's on this big rock here. What I had to do was just firmly attach the raffia that I'd used originally to wrap this around. It would have been 2 years ago, had rotted, and the tree still wasn't held firmly to this crutch, and it's in a right angle. So I've just reattached it there. There's been a lot of good root growth, which I've now wrapped around the back here as well. And this is where I've just used a roll of cling film, because I'm going to be planting it that way. So I want these roots to continue to develop around there, and that's going to get planted back in the pot. So that's an example of how using different bits, a little bit of cling film, a bit of C tape to hold it. The main growth I'm going to have is going to be like that. And I've got roots now that are coming out from the cling film, and that should hopefully work out well. So I'm just going to repot that one up, but you don't need to see that. This next one I looked at, quite impressive. It got on quite a big hunk of rock. There's a lot of roots growing under here. A good bread here. It looks stuck onto there. Got stuff going around there. So all I'm going to do, again, I'm going to do cling film, grip them tighter. Got stuff on this side as well. That one, I don't know if you can see there, that's wrapped around beautifully around there. So I'm going to leave the moss on there because that's a nice way of keeping it on. I'll just thin this out, get the reeds out. So I'm going to just carefully tickle. I've got some big bits of bark and all sorts in there. And that nice big root there might well do a double wrap around again. So yeah, so that's definitely going to be on a nice tall rock. Okay, wrap the cling film around it, and then we'll have the roots growing from the bottom. That bigger root I've actually wrapped, it's under there, it's got a hook, I've hooked it under something there, and it's coming back around and up and across. Same here, I've got a couple more that are going across there. So potentially that is going to be brilliant. So I'm just going to fold these under, all of them under, and sit it exactly how I want it, and then get some soil back in there. Key thing there is, I suppose it's why having, I mean, Chinese elm are really easy and they root so quickly, as you see, and you'll probably see when I do that one, it'll be rooted pretty well easily, and I'll be able to do very little with this. This one, actually, because the moss layers grew on the top, has helped that grip to that rock, which allowed me to do a little bit more with this. A lot more cling film, well, encouraging those roots downwards. There are some fissures in there. The unfortunate thing is you won't see that. I don't know, another year, I might wait another 2 years on these. So, you know, we're year 2 now, we're at the end of year 2, so this is year 3. Long projects. I'll be laying a couple of new roots on rocks this year with Chinese elm. As I say, unlike the maples, this elm, the roots are definitely clinging around there. I'm amazed. I can see there's a structure there of roots going down and down. Got this lot going across there. We've definitely got a nice spread of roots. I don't want to investigate too much because, yeah, it goes around the back. So what I'm going to do is continue to just tease more soil, and then I'm going to wrap more cling film, hold it, keep that grip in there. But if more of those roots grip around the back, that is going to be beautiful like that. It's going to be right, it's on right on the face or the side of that rock. See down there? That's on where I've wrapped a root and it's gone up and under, so that's holding that in place. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm absolutely ecstatic by that one. Absolutely ecstatic. Again, I can't say enough. You want to do root on rock, you get yourself Chinese elms. They will never disappoint you, and I'm sure, as I say, the same I think is of juniper as well. So I'm just going to continue to wrap those round, and that is, oh, I imagine that I can order, that's quite hard. I can probably have that a lot higher up in the pot now. But yeah, so that's really another classic example of Chinese elm. So I'll get that all wrapped up, put in the thing, and I'll show you how it looks in the end. And as you can see here, a lot higher up in the root, in the pot now. So I mean, that's, gosh, that's going to be an awesome tree. The cling film's probably causing all sorts of glitter or wrap, but the roots are all lovely down there. I may well, don't know, I may well just cover a bit of tin foil around that. Again, the main reason of tin foil is to keep light off the roots. So I'll just fill that up, a bit more soil around that, to try and hopefully continue the roots that were there, the thinner ones, continue to grow round. Okay, so that's that one. The next one we've got is like this. It's a biggie. I'm not sure that's cork bark, but either way, just to remind you, these are all of these are cut. I couldn't resist. I definitely thought you need to share this journey with me. I can't remember how it's attached. Definitely got it perched on the corner there, but it's holding fast on it, so I'm just slowly, carefully, just teasing down. Again, I'll cling film to get some of these roots to grip even more, but clearly this thing is attached to the rock. Got some roots coming across the back here, so they'll want to continue to develop. Got a root there. What I don't know is sometimes what I do is I wrap the roots up, so I may actually have roots coming. Look there, I've got a root there that may well be attached on this. It's actually quite exciting when you do this, just to see where those roots get to. As I say, I'm happy that it's gripping, so now what I want to do is investigate just how much more root I can get to grip onto this. Just letting it get close to that rock. Those roots are incredible, aren't they? And it may be that I'll actually end up cutting them away. Depends. I think I can see a main root under there. There's a big root there. That's definitely attached. That's already attached. So why not remove that? Because that's what I'd want to be seeing. Got this one up here. Probably don't need this. Okay, so again I've wrapped the cling film around it. And what I can see is there's a great mass of roots down here. The rock is still there. So I'm going to continue to unmat these. But yeah, because the whole idea is if I can wrap that even tighter, more cling film, then we're going to get a nice set of roots coming down the base here. And this is the other good reason you've got to check them, is because you actually want your roots to run. It's a bit like if you were doing a radial root pattern. You know, you want it to look like the tree hasn't had a problem necessarily putting the roots into the ground, so they go straight down, rather than getting what's happened here is they've basically got stunted by the pot. Anyway, I'm going to continue to straighten those out, a bit more cling film round, then probably bury it up to about there, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so what I've done with this, the rock narrows, it's out here and then it narrows into here. So I've basically cloaked that rock, put it in tight with cling film, wrapped some sellotape to get the cling film in, and then chop the base, because what I'm then going to do is plonk that flat, and I want those to spread out horizontally, and we'll see what happens. And that's how I'm planting it in there. The old soil is perfectly adequate, so we'll just hopefully this is definitely a case of where what I'll be able to do is next year I will take the top amount of cling film off, raise the rock higher, and this could be that it could be that far exposed in another 3 years, or 2 more, maybe even 2 years. I reckon there'll be a lot more growth in another year. I will probably have it down that much. I'm really excited about this project. Then we've just got to look at this. I think that's all the roots and rocks. And then I'm going to have a look at 2 larches. With the larches, sometimes people say, why don't you just poke a bit of rock in between the roots and see what happens? And generally it fails. What happens is when you take the larch out of the soil, the rock drops out. So I've got 2 out there, which I'm going to have a look at as well. So yeah, that could be fun. We get to the Trident Maple. This one, I've actually got it on the rock here. Still not gripping properly there, but there's a root there that's definitely gone round the rock, so I just need to re-secure that. And I'm just gonna, looks like I can probably do that with cling film again. There's a bit of a grip, that's good. So yeah, that's an interesting, I wonder if that's how it would be. Might be how I would do it actually. Okay, so I'll come back to you when that's done. That's this one, and I've done the same thing with this that I did with the taller elm. So I've actually cut the base of the roots off and spread them, so hopefully we get them to go out that way. I like how that one's attaching. I had a decent crevice for that. What you need is good attachment points for your rock. Yeah, so that's the 1, 2, 3, 4th. The 4th or 5th, I think that might be the 5th of the 5th. That's the 5th Trident Maple, and there might have been 3 root on rock Chinese elms. So okay, so that is actually so much more productive than we saw in part 1. So hopefully you persisted and have gone for this second part, because it's really worth it. Right, as I said to you, I've had a look. It's a larch and it's a hornbeam. So I know Tony's been throwing things on rocks as well, so we can have a look and see 2 years on what a larch does and what a hornbeam does. But so far, clearly the winner is the Chinese elm, hands down. You'll get roots on that. 1 year, 2 years, no problems. Trident Maple, slower, and I think Trident Maple you most definitely want to be wrapping the roots that you have got tightly to the rock, and then they'll grip quicker. Right. So the next one we're going to look at is, we've got this larch, bit of roots on the bottom, and we've got this hornbeam, some roots on the bottom. Both of them have been put with rock in different formats. I'm not quite sure how that works out. So we've seen Chinese elm, we've seen Trident Maple, I've done a ficus, we've done a Japanese holly, we've also done the Fuji Cherry. So let's have a look and see how these two, and I imagine by the end of it we might have a good feel for what is a better and more suitable candidate for doing root on rock. Let's have a look, shall we? I could honestly see me doing something very straightforward on this one actually. It probably means cutting it there, but we'll leave that till we see what's in there, shall we? What I do know is that's probably going to come out in a good block. Now, okay. So there it is. I had absolutely no idea. I think that's just jammed between the roots, and I think it's going to fall out. So let's have a look and see what happens. Trying to work out, I don't actually think I did this in any way, shape or form that would make it stick. So let's just have a look and see. There's the rock, okay. I've got the rock there, so I've obviously put one root over it. Part of me is just wondering whether to be a little bit careful on this one, because over time you could actually, that's what I might do. You see I'm a bit worried about exploring this. I'll tell you what, still gripping it. So what, come back to me when I've had a good look on it. Okay, what I've established with this, and it's really what I thought would be the case. Certainly we've got some roots gripping around the back, and I think what's happened is over time they have actually melded in there. The rock is jammed between there and goes through there. We've got roots down the back there, but it's not in the same way, it hasn't gripped in the same way that perhaps I might say with the Chinese elm where the actual root is. So I think with this one, if I did any more disturbance, I would just loosen it free. I think the way this is going to work, I mean it's in nice and tight now. We've got a lovely feature there already. I'm actually going to put that into a pot and then have a think about the style on that. But you know, I suppose what this goes to say is if you jam a rock in tight enough and then leave it, eventually the roots will either close up or get, as the roots expand and get bigger, they'll actually grip the rock just like a vice would, I suppose. So with a bit of care on that, and maybe this is a sort of, again it's the same thing, if I continue to let that grow, I'll just tease out the base roots here a little bit, because what we want is the roots to continue to grow. As they grow, that will continue to thicken that. Put that in a pot and we'll see what happens next. I'm going to find a pot for it. What I've done is I'm just teasing these roots out a little bit, because what I'd like is I would like them to create a nice base. Shouldn't need to wire it in, and fans out so that hopefully, again, another couple of years it gets stronger, they'll continue to grip. I'll be able to raise that higher with the roots underneath it. That's my hope, and then I'll be able to continue to expose the rock. Now, I'm not wiring this in because it's still what I call unknown. I mean, I like the way it's gripped the rock enough that this is definitely worth concentrating on and putting a bit of effort in. So let's see if we can encourage a nice broad base beneath that rock. Okay, so what we've got there, that's a lovely bit of rock there, comes through onto that side. If I can now just encourage more roots from the base, I think we probably have a nice little tree there. Which only begs the next question is, what do you do with it? Bud on the end there, that gives me one answer. Let's just at least do that, okay. Potentially, next leader there. So, let's take the top off. I would need to put a bit of wire and stuff around on this. But yeah, I think if that gets taken up, who knows? Okay, I'm not that worried about the top bit, but there you go. So that's the hornbeam. Wasn't trained exactly round the rock, but that was just a case of jamming it up between some of those roots. So I think someone asked me that question, can it work? And I said no, and I think, yeah, you wait long enough, it will do. I mean, it's definitely been in that for 3 years. Definitely 3 years, he says. So the next is this larch. It's a lovely little tree. I think this is from a batch, that batch that I got in 2016, I think. 2016 and 2017 I bought 50 of them. Its own right, it's a nice little shape, but I put a rock, looks like the rock just went down in there, like someone shot an arrow in it. So let's, what I'm going to do is pull all that, in fact, let's just pull it out. Now, we know larch goes nuts with roots, we do know that. But I've always found with the larch, they're quite a coarse root. And as a result, how much it's going to grip that, I don't know. So let's have a look, shall we? In fact, again, I'll use the same process I've done with all this. I'm going to carefully work my way around, and then I'll come back to you. What we have got here, it's a great mass of roots, but I felt a rock under there. But anyway, I'm going to cut those roots away. Okay. Yeah, typical larch, very, very coarse roots. It's still in there, but I'm not convinced. I don't know what I did actually. It literally looks like, okay, it moves a little bit with the soil. So, okay, if you have a look under there, there's a rock there. So the rock goes down like that, okay. Again, I think this is going to be very, very similar to what I did with the hornbeam. Just try and tease some roots out a little bit. And I think just find a suitable. Okay, so we've got more of a rock there as well. Looks like, yeah, so there's a rock there. So I must have put it between a crevice, or I definitely don't want to be digging too much around there for now. Okay, we've got a big root system up there. Probably get rid of that then. Okay. What I want to be careful is not to unduly, because we've definitely got some roots that are gripping on it, but to what extent I really don't know. I don't really want to loosen too much, so let's neaten it up. And I know when I did this, I was more about trying to create something interesting or something, so we'll just tease this out a little bit, but it's been in that for 3 years, so I'm certainly not going to muck it about. Right, okay, it's going to go into an oval pot. Could be quite interesting. Okay, again, I'm not going to tie it down. What I will be doing is encouraging a lot of more root growth. I mean, if this has a year of typical larch root growth, it will come wonders. I mean, weird, very, very weird. I just look forward if I can get a nice, same with that I did with hornbeam, if I get a nice root base beneath it, then who knows. Okay. Okay, well, I've had a lot of fun today actually with this second part on the root on rock, and hopefully you've been inspired by quite a bit of it. Haven't got the front right on this, but you know what I'm more worried about with this one, so I've just trimmed it a little bit. But the front's somewhere around there probably. We'll see what the rest of this branch structure do. But clearly I've got some lovely, lovely roots here. This rock is just so interesting. And as I say, it goes all the way down to the base here. So hopefully, I mean, truth is that could be the front there, and that branch gets removed and we have everything up high, or bringing stuff down. But yeah, so that's the larch. Not root on rock, probably root jammed onto rock, but that's 2 years to that point, no, 3 years to that point. Slower because they're coarser roots. And then we have the hornbeam. Again, root jammed onto rock. again, I think that's been on it for 3 years. The trees haven't grown particularly in size, but that, once I give that a couple of months to let that soil bed in, and then I'll start working more away on that rock to expose it a lot more. Tree, don't worry about the tree, there's nothing much there. It could still be that I end up taking that off there, changing the whole emphasis, but anyway. And that one there is Hornbeam. So if I was going to do my choice, without hands down, I think you'll all agree that Chinese elm is your best candidate that I've tried out of the 5. Followed, I would imagine, if I did it, with juniper. Then after that, the Trident Maple, but you must use the cling film or some sort of fixing system to really fix those roots tight to the rock, and really it wants fissures and cracks to sort of expand. The roots basically need to expand into those fissures. Then when you get the likes of Hornbeam, Larch, I'd imagine a lot of them, oaks, things like that, the roots are a lot coarser. So they're not going to grip in the same sort of way and over the same sort of period. And I think you probably, with something like that, you'd want to have a nice crevice or something that you can jam a root into there and let that expand perhaps, or as I've done here, just slowly over time. They're interesting, that's for sure. And then we'll still wait and see. I had a look at the, well, you saw what I did with the Fuji Cherry. That's on its way. It's just going to take a lot longer because of the way the roots form on those. They're a lot finer and they tend not to grow those heavy grabbing roots over a shorter period of time. So that may be a good 3 or 4 more years before I see that one come out of the soil properly. The ficus, I have a feeling that's going to love the rock. I've got 2 of those on rock, which we'll see. Well, we'll look at those probably next year. And well, we all know I did the Japanese holly. That one, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that one, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so I've got quite a number of species that we can follow over the next few years. So my question to you is, if you had a choice. Oh, that was Katrina. She had a choice. So if I had a choice, so if you had a choice, which one would you put onto a rock? And how patient are you willing to be? Because certainly root and rock, you don't get quick results. Anyway, from Xavier in the studio. Temperatures have we've just had a week of -2, -3, although this has been recorded a week before you're seeing it. I really hope you've enjoyed this little special on Roots on Rock. And I know if you look back, you'll have seen me doing a Roots on Rock on a couple of trees already. So there'll be more progress on this. Probably won't be for another year or so. I'll look around the same sort of time. Anyway, from Xavier in the front studio. Really enjoying his Root on Rock experiments, and hopefully you are too. I wish you all the best. Happy bonsaiing. Get out there, find some trees with roots and get some rocks on them. Even go to aquariums and see if you can buy aquarium rock. Okay, so happy bonsaiing. God bless. Cheers. Thanks for watching.